introduce my assistant, Professor Snape. He has sportingly agreed to help me with a short demonstration. Now, I don't want any of you youngsters to worry. You'll still have your potions master when I'm through with him. Never fear. One, two, three.
Expelliarmus!
Do you think he's all right?
Who cares?
An excellent idea to show them that, Professor Snape, but if you don't mind me saying, it was pretty obvious what you're about to do. And if I had wanted to stop you, it would have been only too easy.
Perhaps it would be prudent to first teach the students to block unfriendly spells, Professor.
A Martini production.
Hey everyone, John the Everyday Collector here, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we're going to be doing a Reactables. I wanted to share my opinions on a Prime 1 quarter scale piece that's been just put up for pre-order, that the community is really clamoring about. That price point, the sticker shock of the price point, that's gotten everybody. And of course, I'm talking about the quarter scale Severus Snape from the Harry Potter IP, played by Alan Rickman. Now, we saw this piece originally shown at the last showcase that Prime 1 did, and it looked really good. We didn't know much about the price point, but they did mention that it was going to be part of their new Platinum Master line, and really, I think the sticker shock got to a lot of people in the community. I'm going to pull up the Prime 1 page right now so we can have a look at it. The sticker shock really got to people, and well warranted, I think. Now, this piece is coming in at a price point of $2,199 US dollars with an edition size of only 150. And this is Prime 1 teaming up with a studio by the name of Shumi Arts.
Suck it to me, baby!
Which is the first time that I hear of their team up. But definitely exciting. So, when you see this price point of $21.99, I think it takes you back. And then you really have to just sit down and, I found discussing it with other collectors and kind of doing a little bit of research helped justify the price point. Now, for me, I love right off the bat the Platinum Master line. If we separate it from this character, the concept of this Master line where they're going to be working with, I don't know if it's going to be specifically Shumi only going forward, but if they go ahead and work with these side studios to make these really limited and high quality products and collectibles, I'll be super excited. Like, this only has an edition size of 150. And I really like the way they're separating this from their main product line. I think it's a great idea. I think it will, for the collector who likes exclusivity, likes lower edition sizes, likes that really high attention to detail, handcrafted piece. I think this line is really going to be for them. And I'm excited to see what other characters and IPs that they bring into this line. So I do hope this is a successful release. So we mentioned, again, the edition size there. I also wanted to mention that, so they say here, specifications, you get an obsidian smoke-themed base. So there, it's a pretty clean museum piece. Really well tailored here. And the portrait looks fantastic. Like, it looks, to me, spot on to Alan Rickman's likeness. So they're working with the Shumi Studio, and I think what's important when we're discussing the Shumi Studio is the fact that artists are going to be directly crafting and hand painting each individual piece. So this is going to be a premium product. This isn't going to be sent to a factory where it's going to be, painted by God knows who. This is going to be hand painted by the specific artists. And I think that's where a lot of this cost and price point is coming from. The meticulous attention to detail. And I think it's fantastic, to be honest. It really, I don't know, I don't want to say personalizes it, but it adds that extra importance to the piece, in my opinion. The key there, though, really, to justify that price point will be once this goes into production, how close it is to the prototype. They say here, please note the final product specifications may differ because each product is handmade. Now, I can understand some of the paint apps being different from one to the next because they are done handmade. Nothing's going to be exact, but this piece, to command this price point, really needs to be as close as possible to this prototype, if not better. And then that's how you will see how serious Prime 1 is taking this line. Because to come out and ask $21.99 for a quarter scale statue, and I understand the whole tie-in with this studio and how personalized this is, but to ask that price point, that final product has to be spot on. Like we're seeing here, it does have the detachable cape, and look how beautifully tailored this outfit is. The hands look great, shoes. Base is a bit simplistic, really going for that museum look, but fantastic overall in my opinion. There's the rooted hair. I just like the concept. I love the concept of this master line. Portrait looks great as well. And yeah, we're getting that rooted hair, no sculpted hair here. So that'll be interesting to see as well, is how that rooted hair is executed and coming out of the box. How much styling will need to be done on that rooted hair. Look at the hand, the nails, the texturing in the skin. Look at the stitching on the cuff of the white shirt, and then the fabric that's being used and the tailoring on the black. It's beautiful. I think this is great. If you're a Harry Potter fan, this is, I know, like we said, we keep going to the price point. Yeah, it's pricey, but this is a line to compete with. Let's be honest. This is a line to compete directly with J&D, right? And I think where this line could have a lot more potential is the fact that a lot of collectors are not necessarily a fan of the silicone portraits, because we've seen comparison shots of the silicone where one side of the face looks droopy, or I don't know. There's something about some of the J&D pieces that silicone just doesn't come across well on screen, whether it does in person or not. I know that there are many collectors that kind of want to stay away from silicone, which is completely understandable. And, I think this is a medium between, you have J&D doing the third scale. Not everybody wants to collect third scale. So here, Prime 1's giving the quarter scale sculpted, right? Sculpted option. Still getting that rooted hair. Still giving that, that handmade custom feel. And then below that, you had Queen Studios. Now, Queen Studios was doing a great job as well. They were giving you, rooted hair as well in quarter scale, movie pieces. the problem with Queen Studios, and at a good price point, the problem with Queen Studios is where do they go? It's like they abandoned that whole concept. The Loki looked great. They had Wanda lined up, and it's like they went into hiding. So I think Prime One really stepped up here, and I don't think they're really trying to. With this release, they're not trying to sell to the mass market. This is not a mass market line. This is a very custom for almost collectors that were collecting custom pieces that want that attention to detail, that want that museum quality piece that you could put behind glass and have there. And do I think there's a market for it? I think you can find 150 people to pay that price point, depending on the character and the IP. I think that's where they really have to focus, is a couple things. I think they got to focus on the IPs and characters that they decide to go down using this line. That's going to be really important. And I also feel like the final production piece is what's going to determine whether people even look at this line. But overall, the concept I think is great. That handcrafted, working with a studio, everything is meticulously going to be looked after. I think that's great because so many people complain. I'm sick and tired of hearing people complain and say, well, Prime 1 and Blitzway, I'm not going to pre-order because the Blitzway portraits don't come out like the prototypes. They don't come out close. So that people wait to get in hand. Okay, fair enough. In a case like this, I think they're trying to get rid of that ideology where people need to wait to see the production. These are handcrafted and going to be the best of the best. So I really do. I think it's smart on their part. You got to remember, this isn't good. These pieces aren't necessary for a collector like myself. I wouldn't be dropping $2,100 on multiple pieces in a collection. That wouldn't be collecting responsibly, in my opinion. But that's me. Everyone's different. Everyone's going to be at a different financial stage in their life. So for someone, they can collect a whole line like this. For me, I would consider this line with characters that I really want to sprinkle into the collection and have like their best look. A Michael Keaton Batman, for example, would be awesome. Battle damaged, where with a ripped cowl, or even a Jack Nicholson Joker. That's wishful thinking. But if I wanted to have characters that really stand out in my collection, I would sprinkle one or two of these. For me, it's not a whole line that I'd collect because it's pricey. It is of course, it's expensive. I'm not going to sit here and say it's not expensive, but I don't think that they're just putting out a product and slapping an expensive price tag on it. I do think that there's reasoning to back up that price point. With like we were saying, working with Shumi, and again that handcrafted, almost being like a custom feel to the statue, because you can look at even custom 6-scale figures nowadays, and you're looking at price points of upwards of $1,000 USD. In our Joker, if you look, it was a 2-pack, but that was $1,000 plus for that 2-pack 6-scale figure. And again, you're getting the rooted hair, the die-cast accessories and bases, but that's a lot to be paying for a 6-scale figure. So I hope, I do want to be positive about this line because I think it's great for collectors who like that exclusivity, personalized piece, not necessarily mass-produced. And it has a lot of potential with the right backing. Whether we're in an economy right now, I don't know if economically we're in a place to be putting up a line like this right now. The market will tell. But I do think they should continue to at least pump out another maybe 2-3 products in this line to see, of different IPs, to see how the market reacts. Because if you look at J&D, if you're Prime 1, you're sitting back and looking at J&D, and J&D's putting up their pieces at $3,000, and J&D's selling out. Whether, not to say who it's going to, retailers or so forth, but J&D's selling out, right? And there has to be some sort of demand there, because if that was the case, the retailers wouldn't be going back to J&D and purchasing the product to have them sell out. So there's demand there. And I'll be frank, for me personally, some of J&D's likenesses are not there, and they're still selling out. So it'll be interesting to see how this pans out. I did want to give my opinion. I'm gonna give my kudos to Prime 1 and say continue it. Keep it separate like you're doing from your main line. But yeah, when it comes to price point, with the way everything is, it's just the way it's going to be going forward. I think it's time that we look at Sideshow's Ghost Rider. Quarter scale, 1100 for that Ghost Rider. We don't even have an edition size yet. And for me, a piece like that doesn't necessarily command 1100 from what was shown. So if you're looking at, another $1,000 on top of that, and you're getting this handcrafted piece straight from the artist's hand, that's not mass produced, I think that's where the value is. I wanted to actually discuss Shumi Arts a little bit. I was able to find them on Facebook, and it's odd because it seems like they are, it looks like they're a company that was established in 2019 in Tokyo, but they were specifically working with figures, from what they say here on their site, on the Facebook site. But let's take a look at some of the products. Here is the Bruce Wayne, Christian Bale likeness. Not bad. Not bad. Not 100% there in my opinion, but it's not bad. Some good details there. Who else did they do? They did the De Niro from Irishman. Again, it's a good likeness. These were posted recently on August 14th. This one I personally don't like whatsoever. This is supposed to be, you could tell who it is, of course. It's Tony Stark, Iron Man, but Robert Downey Jr. But this for me is off, completely off the mark. Of course, the likeness is to the point where you can see who it is, but my goodness, no. This Tony, when even compared to some of the Hot Toys figures that I've seen on the market, representations is not where it should be, in my opinion. They did a Bob Ross as well, which is pretty cool. His hair looks like an SOS pad. Up. Okay, so this Billie Eilish is pretty crazy. This likeness is pretty good. Really good. Wow. This is pretty impressive. So I don't know, this could be some different artists that are working on these, not specifically the same artists. But I did want to just show some of their work. The Billie Eilish is stunning. Here's the Bob Ross with that SOS pad here. Yeah, and that's a little bit about Shumi. So it seems like they're a 6-scale figure. They say they're a figure. They work on figures. So I think on one of the posts here. So that's interesting to see. I wish them the best of luck. I hope this line's successful for both Shumi and Prime 1. It'd be interesting to see if Snape is the only Harry Potter representation we're going to get, or if their main focus is going to be Harry Potter in the near future for this line. that'll be really interesting to see. But don't get all bent over and twisted about that price point. And this is not for everybody. Do I hope that they go in and continue a Harry Potter line and maybe a more affordable option for collectors? I think that would be a good idea, because if you are a Harry Potter fan and looking forward to that IP, again, this is not for just the average collector to be dropping $21.99, especially if you're planning to do more characters. I do hope they do a line in either quarter or third, but a more affordable option for collectors to be able to get into. And again, I'd like a little bit more communication from Prime as well. I think a really good behind-the-scenes discussion would have been good in this case. You know, introducing Shumi, and discussing a little bit more, and hopefully they still do it, but behind the scenes of maybe them working. I know they added that photo, but I don't necessarily think that's enough. I don't think they did. Let me see quickly if they did do a video. I could be mistaken. They may have did a video just without anyone speaking. Let me just double check. Because I remember seeing a video of some sort, but I would like to see them speaking and kind of giving us some details. Yeah, they did their, like, let's see here. Yeah, like the next level video is what they did. So I'll probably use that as the intro, to be honest, to this video. Again, if they can go to, I don't know if they can do it now, but give us the behind the scenes, almost like Sideshow does, of the artists working on it, and because it gives that extra stamp and seal on the whole experience. You gotta understand, when you're doing a line like this, it's not about just a piece, it's about the overall experience as well. The packaging, the communication to the collectors, the pre-ordering experience, that has value as well. So we'll see how that goes. I don't think they're treating this like every other release. It goes up on the website, you click on the pre-order, and that's it. A little bit more of an exclusive feel, or more exquisite release style would have been cool. Like I said, a video of the behind the scenes showing the artists, or even Shumi, the company, coming out and you know, explaining who they are and how other pieces they've worked on. Because before this, I think it's a handful of people that have heard of Shumi. I know I haven't. I did a little bit of homework and pulled them up. But at $21.99, I don't want to do homework. I've been out of school for years. But yeah, that's my thoughts, guys. It's crazy to see something like this hitting the market during this economic time. But they see a market for it. I think collecting is going to be changing. We're going to go back to pre-COVID collecting. This whole high edition sizes and just you can order when you want. I think that's going to dwindle away because I don't think it works for these companies. There's just too many options out there, and they have to find out a way to incentivize people to pre-order product. And I know putting out a piece at $21.99 is not necessarily going to get people to jump on board, but I think there is a market for these releases for people who are interested in exclusivity. And do I think this is going to sell out right away? No, this will probably sit a little bit, but it will be interesting to see how it pans out. And what other characters they do. I think this would be, imagine a Jack Sparrow Pirates of the Caribbean done with the rooting and all the nice things that he carries, and the outfit and everything, and the map. And I think that stuff like that, characters that have a lot of attention to detail, and I think those kind of characters can benefit from a line like this. If you guys can think of any other characters that you would like to see, let me know in the comments below. Yeah, what other characters would you like to see Prime 1 do in this line? Or would you consider even picking up? Is this a line that you would consider going down? if you were to have a character that you'd want made, or is this just something you're going to stay away for completely because of the price point? Do you not see any value in the price point and what they're trying to do here? So yeah, guys, this has been another Reactables. Just wanted to give my thoughts. Tune in later on tonight. We're going to have Collectors Club, where I'll have all the other guys give their thoughts on this line and the piece as well. But it's good to see a company kind of stepping in and filling in like a gray area in collecting, giving us that, that premium quarter scale product as opposed to just 1/3. Who knows what's going to happen? Let's see how J&D reacts to this. Maybe J&D will drop down to quarter scale and do a few quarter scale pieces. That'll be really interesting to see as you look at the hobby, and it seems that companies are moving away from the third scale pieces. Time will tell. I'll be here to discuss it with you guys when that news comes out. Whatever these companies decide to do, we'll discuss it together. Thank you for tuning in. Have a great week. And always remember, collect responsibly. Ladies and gentlemen, don't go above your means. Always remember to collect responsibly. All the best, and I will see you next time on the channel. Thanks for tuning in. Take care.